Did notice it's got the name on the first slide, but I don't know.
Can't find when it's still there.
Yeah, as I get older, I do more and more of that. Kind of, the end of the word appears at the beginning.
Okay, you're on the word.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to give you a very short presentation, and I thought that I would try to convey just some of the ideas behind what I'm trying to do. And so I called this talk the generative implicate order, because this is essentially what I'm trying to look for. I'm trying to find a way to describe the implicate order that we already heard about, I think mostly on the first day. And so I thought, as a background, I could probably use some of the things that we've already seen so that you can relate back to it. And so the implicate order, where does it come from? Well, in Basil's talk, I think, he had a question: what is basic? What should we use as the fundamental? What should be fundamental? And his answer was, I believe, the hollow movement. And it is the idea is that we should use process as fundamental, and this process moves from something that is implicate, where you cannot distinguish between things. All of the orders that you have in the explicate order, which is the order where we can measure things, exist in the implicate order, but you cannot see them explicitly. And so the idea of the movement is a movement of unfoldments and enfoldments. And it was depicted this way. Imagine that this E represents an explicate order. Then there is an unfolding and enfolding that you could describe by M's, for instance, in this in that example. Yes, and then if you continue, you actually come to Schrödinger or Heisenberg evolution in the quantum theory, just from this. What I would like to do is, I would like to have the implicate order as something that is truly fundamental. And so I would, instead of starting from the explicate, going to the implicate and back to the explicate, I would like my description to start from the implicate, so that I start from a wholeness, from a totality, and then I move out, have an unfoldment. We can maybe draw it like this, and then, because it's difficult to draw the implicate order, of course, the explicate you have just a dot. The implicate is not anything that you could explicitly see in any way. So this is the way that I would like to try to model it. The idea, let's see, the idea here to my approach is I would like to impose a context that can work for me, so that I don't have to worry about it. What do I mean? Very often when we work in physics, it's more in a reductionistic way. So we tend to start from parts and then build upwards. Of course, it's not purely a reductionistic process, because we do also try to consider, as we were talking, I think, today at lunch, we do try to consider the larger picture. So we do have a certain purpose. But I feel that although we have the larger picture, we don't have the larger picture working for us. We don't have it working for us automatically. this is actually something that we do all the time psychologically. If you think about intention, for instance, if you have an intention to do something, then that in a way orders what you're going to be doing. You may still have, if you're thirsty and you have an intention to drink, it's I see someone else. Yes. Then that orders the whole situation and your whole dynamics. So whatever you do, you will be looking for maybe maybe here I can drink something, or maybe somewhere else. It's still an open-ended intention, but we use these intentions all the time, and they work for us. So that we do, and they are implicit in a way, because we don't have to constantly think about it. We enfold them somehow into ourselves and have them working for us. And within that, and so whatever we do, we do within that order then, automatically. You see that also in the quantum theory. You can see it as a type of formative causality. So you have a sequential causality. I think I was talking to someone about this. You have a sequential causality where one thing causes the next, and then the next, and so on. So you have a sequence of events. Or you can have a causality that depends on the context. And so then the whole of whatever is happening, the whole context influences the movement of the part. And in this situation, it is very much working. It is very much working for you. So it's not something that you have to think about. It is already working for you. So this is what I would like to do here. Can I impose this implicate order somehow from the top? So I'm not working from the bottom. I'm trying to first impose an order that will be working for me all the time. And so what would I like? And also generative. I would like this implicate order to be generative. What does that mean? I mean, I would like it to do something. I would like it to change something. Introduce a real change. So, how do I do it? Well, what should my order be? Because I would like to use as few assumptions as possible. And also, my idea here is to start from the infinite, not from the finite. I would like to assume somehow the existence of this type of a dynamics, a wholeness, where things are not really distinguishable. You have the implicate in a way, but you have a dynamics in it that generates something new. So I would just like to assume that. And the way I do it is that I say, okay, so let's assume that there is a wholeness preserving movement, you could say, that is non-trivial, in which wholeness moves from itself to itself, but it moves in such a way that all of the orders, everything is preserved. Everything that you could possibly define, everything that could be defined explicitly, is preserved in a way. Mathematically, the way I do it is through the wholeness axiom, which says there is an elementary embedding,